My shop is truly one of a kind. We do things differently here because, for us, it's all about making cars as stylish and beautiful as possible. When Counting Cars ended, many fans thought Danny Koker was finished. He had lost £35 due to stress, was dealing with a $2.7 million lawsuit, and his marriage was falling apart. But in 2024, he shocked everyone. His old show had been making around $15 million a year, but his new business venture doubled that in just a few months. However, the biggest surprise had nothing to do with cars. Today, we're diving into the untold story of how Danny Koker rebuilt his empire and why some fans say he's almost unrecognizable now. Danny Koker was born on January 5, 1964, in Cleveland, Ohio, into a family deeply connected to cars. His father, Danny Koker Sr., was an executive at Ford, which meant cars and motorcycles were a major part of Danny's life from the very beginning. It wasn't just his dad, his uncles, cousins, and family friends were also involved in the car industry. However, there was another passion that made his family special: music. Danny's father wasn't just a car enthusiast, he was also a talented musician. He sang and played the keyboard for the Cathedral Quartet, a well-known Southern gospel group. This blend of music and cars shaped Danny's life in unexpected ways. By the time he was just 11 years old, he was already performing on stage at Carnegie Hall, showcasing his musical talent. When Danny was 8, his father gave him his first motorcycle. It wasn't just a toy, it sparked a lifelong obsession. Instead of simply riding it, Danny took it apart piece by piece, then put it back together again. That's when he realized how much he loved understanding how things worked. From that moment on, he spent his time working on bikes and cars, taking them apart, fixing them, and making them even better. By the time he was a teenager, he was already helping his dad with car projects, learning everything hands-on. His father brought home car manuals and parts from Ford, and Danny eagerly studied them. He didn't have formal training, just endless curiosity and a lot of practice. At 16, he was already modifying engines to make them faster and customizing cars to look cooler. One of his earliest major projects was his first car, a 1979 Camaro Z28. Most teenagers would have been happy just to drive it, but not Danny. He transformed it into a street-legal race car. It was a huge challenge, but he figured it out. By the time he was 18, he had already proven that he could tackle difficult projects, even without professional training. His journey took a surprising turn in 1990 when he became a television host. He played Count Cool Rider, the vampire-like host of a late-night horror movie show called Saturday Fright at the Movies. Every Saturday, viewers in Las Vegas tuned in to watch him introduce cheesy horror films with a unique mix of humor and style. Dressed in sunglasses, a cape, and rocking a gothic look, his character was obsessed with Elvis, motorcycles, and classic cars, just like Danny himself. He even spoke with a humorous accent inspired by his Yugoslavian grandparents. The show was a hit, and his nickname, the Count, stuck with him even after the show ended in 2001. But Danny's real passion was still cars. In 1998, he turned that passion into a business, opening Count's Customs in Las Vegas. The name was a tribute to his Count Cool Rider persona. At first, the shop focused only on customizing motorcycles, but Danny had a unique approach. He didn't just repair bikes and cars, he turned them into works of art. One of his first major builds was a 1932 Ford Roadster. When people saw the finished product, they knew Count's Customs was something special. Word spread quickly, and customers started pouring in. By 2002, Danny had to move into a larger space to accommodate the growing demand. He expanded his business from motorcycles to classic cars and even started designing custom car parts. Then, in 2004, everything changed. Danny got a call from none other than Ozzy Osbourne. The rock legend wanted a custom motorcycle, and Danny delivered something spectacular. The bike featured glowing paint and bat-themed details, perfectly capturing Ozzy's iconic style. The project gained national attention and put Count's Customs on the map in a big way. As the years went by, the business continued to grow. By 2010, Count's Customs wasn't just a shop, it was a brand. Danny opened a tattoo parlor, a rock bar called Count's Vamped, and even started selling his own line of merchandise. What began as a small custom shop had transformed into a 30,000 square foot operation with over 50 employees. Danny had turned his passion into a full-fledged empire. His journey to television fame began unexpectedly on July 19, 2009. He made his first appearance on Pawn Stars, where he was brought in to appraise a 1968 Mustang GT Fastback. At the time, Count's Customs was already well known in Las Vegas, but this appearance introduced Danny to a nationwide audience. Rick Harrison, the owner of the pawn shop, needed an expert who truly understood classic cars, and Danny's knowledge and charisma immediately stood out. Viewers loved him, and over the next 3 years, he became a recurring guest, appearing in 23 episodes of Pawn Stars. However, his time on the show wasn't always smooth. After just his second appearance, he got into a heated argument with Rick over the value of a 1957 Chevy Bel Air. The debate got so intense that Danny walked off the set, and producers had to step in to mediate. Eventually, Rick personally called Danny and promised him more control over his segments on the show. This resolved their conflict, and their on-screen banter became one of the show's highlights. Then, in June 2011, a producer named Brent Montgomery visited Count's Customs while filming for Pawn Stars. He watched Danny negotiate the purchase of a rare 1970 Plymouth Superbird, offering $75,000 on the spot. Montgomery immediately realized that Danny's passion and eye for cars could make for an incredible TV show. On August 13, 2012, Counting Cars premiered on the History Channel. The show followed Danny and his team as they hunted for, restored, and sold classic cars and motorcycles. Unlike other car shows, it didn't just focus on buying and selling, it showed the entire process, from the moment Danny spotted a car to the dramatic final reveal. The very first episode brought things full circle by featuring the restoration of a 1968 Mustang Fastback, the same type of car Danny had appraised in his first Pawn Stars appearance. The show was an instant hit, drawing in 3.1 million viewers, far above the History Channel's usual ratings. By the end of its first season, Counting Cars was averaging 2.9 million viewers per episode, even outperforming Pawn Stars at times. By 2014, it was airing in 150 countries and translated into 38 languages. In Germany, it became the most watched American reality show, with 1.5 million viewers per episode. However, the show also had some unexpected consequences. In 2015, the Las Vegas police reported a 37% increase in classic car thefts. Authorities believed criminals were targeting the same types of vehicles featured on the show. Danny even had to warn car owners to take extra precautions. One of the reasons the show became so popular was Danny's unique personality. With his long hair, beard, and all-black outfits featuring skull designs, he had a distinct rocker look that reflected his love for music. He was also the lead singer of his band, Count 77, blending his two passions, cars and rock and roll. Fans loved his mix of car expertise, business sense, and larger-than-life personality. A 2016 survey revealed that most viewers watched the show because they were drawn to Danny himself. His quirks, his deep passion for vehicles, and his ability to turn old cars into masterpieces made him one of reality TV's most memorable figures. Danny Koker had a deep belief that his old leather jacket, which he had owned since 1989, brought him good luck when buying cars. He never washed it and even kept more than $10,000 sewn into one of its pockets for spontaneous purchases. His generosity and kind heart were evident in many moments, but one of the most touching occurred on November 5, 2013. He restored a 1981 Corvette that had belonged to a Vietnam veteran who had passed away and then gifted it to the veteran's widow. The emotional reveal brought Danny to tears, and this particular episode became the most watched in the show's history, drawing in 4.3 million viewers. Danny's journey to success was a blend of hard work, creativity, and passion. When his show Counting Cars became a hit, his business, Count's Customs, experienced rapid growth. What started as a small 7,000 square foot shop eventually expanded into a massive facility by 2018. This expansion allowed Danny and his team to take on bigger and more exciting projects. His expertise and confidence in car restoration were unmatched, and he had an eye for spotting a winning deal. By 2020, his team of over 50 skilled workers was completing around 75 custom builds each year, a significant jump from just a few before the show started. Clients were willing to wait up to 18 months for his unique designs and were happy to pay high prices for his signature work. By 2019, Count's Customs was earning over $15 million annually, a massive leap from the $500,000 it made in its first year. Danny expanded his business beyond car restoration. He started selling Count's Customs branded merchandise, including clothing and accessories, which by 2021 was bringing in an additional $3 million per year. In 2017, he launched a business selling rare car parts for classic restorations, which quickly became 20% of his shop's total income. By 2022, he also began offering workshops and training programs to teach others about car restoration, solidifying his shop as a leader in the industry. His craftsmanship attracted several high-profile clients who wanted his special touch on their vehicles. In 2016, rock legend Ozzy Osbourne hired him to create a custom chopper, a project that took 6 months and cost over $150,000. The bike featured hand-painted bat wings and a powerful 124 cubic inch engine, turning it into a masterpiece. 2 years later, NBA superstar LeBron James approached him to restore a 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air. This project took 8 months and was customized with a purple and gold interior inspired by the Lakers, along with a top-of-the-line sound system. The car was valued at over $500,000 and was featured in several car magazines. In 2020, Danny took on a major project for the Las Vegas Mob Museum, restoring 5 vintage Cadillacs with hidden compartments and bulletproof glass, replicating the kind of vehicles mobsters used in the 1960s and 1970s. The $2.5 million project made headlines and was turned into a 2-hour TV special. His list of celebrity clients continued to grow, including big names like Nicolas Cage, Tim McGraw, and Shaquille O'Neal. One of his most challenging projects came in 2022 when he completed a $1 million restoration of John Lennon's psychedelic 1965 Rolls-Royce Phantom V. The restoration took 2 years and required sourcing rare parts from 3 different continents. Danny also ventured into the entertainment and hospitality business. In 2012, he opened Count's Vamped Rock Bar and Grill in Las Vegas, a popular spot for both music and car enthusiasts. The bar was uniquely decorated with vintage motorcycles hanging from the ceiling and rare rock memorabilia on the walls. It hosted live music every night, quickly standing out in the competitive Las Vegas nightlife scene. By 2015, he expanded the space, adding a large outdoor patio with a stage and a rotating display of classic cars from his collection. Events like Rocktoberfest became a massive success, drawing over 10,000 fans annually. In 2018, Danny partnered with a brewery to launch Count's Custom Brew, a line of craft beers sold in bars and stores across Nevada. By 2022, the bar was earning over $8 million per year, hosting more than 500 live shows annually and employing 75 staff members. Danny's passion for music led him to form a rock band called Count 77 in 2013. As the lead singer, he performed alongside talented musicians from Las Vegas. Their first album, released in 2014, had a 1970s-inspired hard rock sound and reached number 26 on the Billboard Hard Rock chart. Their single My Detroit received heavy radio play. In 2016, the band went on its first national tour, performing 50 shows across the US and earning over $2 million. Their second album, Soul Transfusion, released in 2017, performed even better, reaching number 15 on the Billboard Hard Rock chart. Their hit song Summer of '77 climbed to number 22 on the mainstream rock chart. The band performed at major festivals like Rocklahoma in 2018, playing for over 40,000 fans. By 2022, Count 77 had released 4 albums, sold over 500,000 records, and even launched an annual Count's Rock Cruise, a luxury ship event featuring live performances from classic rock bands. The cruise became so popular that it sold out months in advance. Despite his success, the reality of running counting cars and his business was far from glamorous. When the show premiered on August 13, 2012, it quickly gained popularity, but Danny's workload became overwhelming. He often worked up to 18 hours a day without a break for weeks. By 2015, the stress started affecting his health, and he lost 35 pounds in just 3 months. Managing both the show and Count's Customs was exhausting. In a 2018 interview, he admitted that due to filming demands, he had to turn down nearly 37 custom jobs per month, costing the shop about $4.8 million a year in lost revenue. Conflicts with producers also made things difficult. On March 3, 2019, frustrated with being asked to stage a fake argument with a client, Danny walked off set, shutting down production for 3 days and causing a loss of $180,000. The pressure of the show also affected his personal life. By 2020, Danny and his wife, Koker, were facing serious marital issues. They had barely spent any quality time together due to his demanding schedule, and Koker felt like a TV widow. In 2020, she filed for separation, citing irreconcilable differences. However, on Christmas Day that year, they had a heartfelt conversation and reconciled. To prioritize his marriage and personal well-being, Danny decided to scale back Counting Cars from 26 episodes per season to just 16. Despite strong ratings, Counting Cars was unexpectedly cancelled on December 14, 2021. Fans were confused since the 10th season had been shorter than usual, with only 12 episodes. Danny remained silent for 47 days after the cancellation, leading to speculation about his future plans. In January 2022, Count's Customs removed all mentions of the show from its website, fueling rumors that he might be retiring or working on a new project. Finally, on January 30, 2022, Danny posted a cryptic Instagram message with a partially restored 1957 Chevy Bel Air, hinting that his journey was far from over. Even without the show, Count's Customs thrived. Without the pressure of TV deadlines, Danny and his team focused on high-end projects, including a 1967 Chevy Camaro restoration that took over 2,500 hours. In July 2024, they invested in advanced 3D printing technology to create rare car parts, helping their business grow by 30%. They also worked on exclusive celebrity projects, including a Thor-inspired 1969 Mustang for Chris Hemsworth and a $30 million Bugatti Type 57C Atlantic restoration. Danny also took a break from car restoration to focus on music. In 2024, Count 77 embarked on a world tour called Grease and Giz Global Takeover, performing to massive crowds worldwide. The tour earned over $100 million in just 1 month, proving that Danny's passion and work ethic remained as strong as ever. His story is one of resilience, creativity, and determination, showing that no matter the challenges, his love for cars and music will continue to drive him forward.